Aloha, welcome back. So the Ides of March are upon us. And if you're an ancient history buff like me, if you go back to the Roman times, the Ides of March was the first full moon of March. And what that meant is, by the next time the new full moon comes, it will be spring. So there was a lot to be excited about, and it was a holiday. And I know some of you may have been expecting a St. Patrick's Day episode, but you all know what to do there. I like my beer, and I'll probably have a Guinness myself. But today we're going to be making something I really had a hard time getting my head around, and that's a Bloody Caesar. Now, being from an Italian background, we love tomatoes. I like them raw, in a salad, sun-dried tomatoes, put them in sauce, Sunday gravy, everything. I just can't see putting it in a cocktail and drinking it. At the same time, one of my favorite dishes of all time is linguine with clam sauce. But again, I can't see drinking clam sauce. I'll eat it, and I'll even have white or red clam sauce. But clam sauce in tomato juice and drinking it, I don't know. But the Canadians are drinking 350 million of these things a year. Now, the only difference between a Bloody Mary and a Bloody Caesar is the Bloody Caesar has clam juice in it. Why Canadians like this, I don't know, but if you read these ingredients, it's pretty horrific. High fructose corn syrup, monosodium glutamate, citric acid, that's just the lemon part, onion and garlic powder, absorbic acid, dried clam broth. Well, why do you gotta dry the clam broth? I mean, what's left? That's like adding dehydrated water. You just gotta add water to reconstitute it. It makes no sense. If you ever seen this stuff in a bottle, there's nothing to it. It tastes like clams, but you don't need to dehydrate it. But somehow, they do it. Red 40. So, this is not great stuff. This was the last can on the shelf. I wasn't going to buy a big bottle of it because I know I'm not going to drink it. I did want to use it for this recipe. It was $1.50. It's the first and last time I'll probably ever buy it, especially with all these ingredients in here, if you want to call them that. It is the Ides of March, and I have to try it once. So, let's give it a shot. Going to use just a dash of fresh lime juice. If you're using a Bloody Mary, it would have lemon juice, but this one gets lime. Dash of Worcestershire. Dash of hot sauce. Ounce and a half of vodka. Now, I do have vodka from Sicily, which is obviously Italian. I'm not going to use it because I don't have high hopes for this drink and I don't feel like wasting a premium spirit. So we're just going to use this stuff. It's fine. Probably only going to take a sip or two of this. Now, the Clamato. We want 4 ounces of this. 2. And 4. Now for the glass, typically it's served in a pint glass. I'm using this tuba glass because I can't find the pint glasses. I probably broke it. And instead of using celery salt on here, I just used Montreal steak seasoning because somebody online suggested it, and I'm not paying $7 for an ingredient I'm going to use once. And celery salt, by the way, is nothing more than salt and celery seed. So it's just a garnish. I'm not going crazy with this drink. Again, I don't have high hopes for it. And pour. Now, the Ides of March is when Caesar was murdered. He was walking to the Senate, and it was during the festival, and an astrologer yells out, "Caesar, beware of the Ides of March." And he just looked at him, and he didn't pay much attention because Caesar wasn't really afraid of anything. He was a real badass. He was a brilliant military guy. As a matter of fact, when he was young, I think he was even still a teenager, they kidnapped him, and they held him for like let's say $1 million ransom or whatever it was back then. He looks at them and says, "What are you, crazy? I'm worth double that." So they say, "Okay, we're going to ask for $2 million." After they paid the $2 million ransom, or whatever the equivalent was, Caesar returns home, goes back, and he hunts down every last one of his kidnappers, kills them all, and pockets the money. And he figures, well, you obviously thought I was worth it. This is my salary for ridding the world of this plague and these hoodlums. I don't know that it's any different than politicians today. Just saying. Celery's looking a little weak there. It is fresh, but that's what you get. Let's give it a taste. Wish me luck. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like well, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so you're saying to yourself, why did you go through the trouble of wasting your time, something you knew you weren't going to like? Canadians are drinking 350 million of these things a year, and their population is only like 40 million. So that's like 25 million people of the drinking population drinking this. I don't know what they see in it, and I love brunch, but give me a mimosa, a Bellini, a screwdriver, something else instead. I'm going to take a pass on this. But I don't want you to feel shortchanged, because I'm going to show you what should be the real Bloody Caesar. And this has a little bit of a historical background, because blood oranges specifically come from Sicily. Many years ago, you could only get them imported from Sicily. Now I believe they make them in California, probably Mexico. But it's a beautiful fruit, it's delicious, and I just got to get this taste out of my mouth. Half ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 ounce of blood orange syrup, 1.5 ounces of bourbon, and 1 ounce of Aperol. I'm going to shake this over ice. We're going to strain it into a nice elegant coupe and garnish it any way you like. Now this cocktail is worthy of a king, an emperor. This other stuff, I don't know. Sorry, Canada. I love poutine. I love your maple syrup. I'll even eat the Canadian bacon. Clamato, I just can't. I can't. I'm sorry. Till next time, mahalo and cheers.
Isn't happy hour anytime?